29 March 2017, UK issues notice to European Council about its intention to leave the Europe.
The referendum result was clear. It was legitimate. It was the biggest vote for change this country has ever known. Brexit means Brexit, and we're going to make a success of it.
Brexit will have a huge impact on British economy. Lots of people staying in UK might lose their livelihoods. So to understand the people's opinion, we thought it would be best to use Twitter as a source of data. Twitter is mass media platform where any unknown person can start a digital revolution just sitting in the corner and through some really powerful hashtags. Out of many sub-events that we analyzed from the Twitter data, let's get into the findings of withdrawal agreement. But wait, why withdrawal agreement?
Why are we sending £10 billion a year net to Brussels? Some of which is spent, my friends, some of which is spent on Spanish bullfighting. Do you think that the British taxpayer should be supporting Spanish bullfighting? No! Absolutely not.
Well, besides that, we performed an analysis on the following perspectives. Twitter trends will showcase the hot topic on the Twitter at the moment. Tweet perspective will highlight the words used specifically in regard to the topic. People sentiment will describe the real emotion behind the tweets. Influential personalities would focus on these personalities whose words matter to the masses. Twitter trends. One thing we noticed that here the discussion related to the withdrawal agreement increased from 1st March 2019, closer to the time when the European Council meeting was scheduled to discuss UK's exit from European Union. The graph shows a declining trend after the withdrawal agreement got rejected twice on 12th March 2019 and 29 March 2019. Tweet perspective. The overall perspective of tweets includes a broader range of topics like the Brexit vote in the Parliament, Irish border, hard exit, as well as two conflicting issues of leaving and staying in the European Union. This word clause will help us to analyze the change in the perspective of Twitter users over a period, and these changes in the context on a timely basis can be used by journalists and media to widen the reach of meaningful public opinions. People sentiment. The overall sentiment for the event is negative. It can also be observed that except week 4, all other weeks have a higher proportion of negative tweets. Thus we can conclude that the overall sentiment of the Twitter users has been negative towards the withdrawal agreement. This can be attributed to the withdrawal agreement being rejected multiple times in the UK Parliament and the disappointment of the general public towards the government for agreeing on the terms of separation. Influential personalities. We extracted top Twitter profiles whose tweet has been most retweeted and found 2 recurring profiles, David Vance, who is the author of Alt News Media, and Kyle Hedges, the British authors. Well, given their occupation, it's no surprise that the words are influential. Further, when we drill down to the pattern of the tweets, we observe that both received the highest number of retweets from 25th March to 30th March and from 31st March to 6th April. Also, both of them are highly active on Tuesdays and Fridays. Seems like the weekends are more creative. A broad comparison of David Vance and Kyle Hedges of retweet count on hourly basis indicates that David Vance has gained a measured popularity by tweeting out in the morning. Well, it could be that people are more active on Twitter to get the newsfeed while going to offices in the morning. We created a model that showed David Vance, most influential users under the sub-event withdrawal agreement, is showing a positive trend in the estimated retweet counts. Hence we can conclude that with the passage of time, his retweet count will increase. And towards the conclusion now. Influential personalities. On events like Brexit, it is the influential personalities who are powerful to feed the opinion in people's mind. So study shows how we can analyze the patterns and words to understand why the influence work on public. Popularity time. Our analysis identified that 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. is the best time to create a massive impact on higher number of audiences. Forecast. And finally, we created a model that can help us to understand that over the period of time, will our popularity increase or decrease. Like every analysis, there are some limitations. Restricted access. The normal API account on Twitter allows only 7 days of data to be extracted. Hence, we manually had to extract the data every week. The initial plan of extracting the entire 3 years old Brexit data had to be abandoned, and we settled on for a few months of data. Limited data set. Due to the limited data, the forecasting for the follower counts and retweet counts was majorly impacted. Location. Most of the Twitter users had disabled the location. It would have been interesting to understand from where these sentiments are arriving from. Event changes. Brexit, which was planned to effect from 29 March 2019, was deferred multiple times, which conflicted our project timelines. Lack of numerical data restricted the analysis on real facts and numbers. Well, where can someone go ahead with our analysis? Demographic analysis. With the availability of location details, the study can be extended to perform change in context based on demography and time. The impact on follower count can be studied before and after the milestone of sub-events to analyze whether the influence can still sustain with the same number of followers once the follower count data is made available by Twitter. The availability of longer duration historical data will make it possible not just to analyze the long-term events like Brexit, but also short-term events like trade wars. Well, these were some of the methods and findings we explored to analyze a big event like Brexit in a formatted structure. About Brexit, it's an ongoing issue, and only time will reveal its consequences.